So you often see me sitting in front of the screen. Generally I'll put something up in the background here, but I thought it may be interesting for you to have a look and see exactly what my setup is here and what each one of these components does, but also a couple of things that you probably haven't seen or noted before. So let's have a look at my main trading setup. Please like and comment on the video below. That will allow me to produce better quality videos and more of them in the future. If you're interested in learning to trade successfully on sports, then why not visit the BetAngel Academy, where we have more detailed videos. Now, the interesting thing about the way that the setup is done here is you're just looking at one tiny part of it. I am going to do a video for those of you that have requested it on my entire setup, because as you would have known, this year I've moved into a new location. So all you're seeing here is a tiny little bit of a desk in one of the rooms. So that gives you an idea of what I've been up to in the background here. The only reason I haven't done a full video on it is because generally I haven't been ready to. So we've been preparing everywhere up here and downstairs. And part of the thing that I've been wanting to do for ages is to create just like the perfect trading environment. So yeah, all you're looking at here is my main trading desk, but there is a lot more depth to it. But anyhow, let's have a look at some of the things that are on my desk and what they do and how I've got my screen set up. So you look at my main 4 screens. This is generally how they're set up at the start of a trading session. Now, they're often in the background of videos, but they're sort of not in their sort of native state, as it were. So typically what I'll do is I'll have my main trading screen on the bottom here. So I've got Betfair here, BetDeck over here, Guardian, spreadsheets, other data coming in on the top left, and then I've got charts on top of the main screen here. So my basic setup is main trading screen and charts. So if I was using a laptop, that's more or less what I'd be looking at. But when I'm in the office, then I've got room to do much more. But also, you know, and I'll point it out again, when you use the profiles, this will change depending upon the market that I'm in. You can configure the ladders, you can change the display, you can put charts all over the place, you can do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But you would do that by profile. So as the day progresses, my screen changes depending upon the market that I'm trading. And also the charts, you know, we're really early on in the day here, so there's no activity in the market, but I've got market overview, I've got some Betfair charts. Betfair charts have limited use. You can't really use them for all of the things that, you know, they've got limited appeal, but they nonetheless give you a quick overview of the market. So advanced charts are where it's at. So I'll display advanced charts on the right hand side of the ladder, but I'll also have separate charts up here as well, because you can zoom in and out, you can go back in history, you can go forward, you can do all sorts of clever things with it. But yeah, the basic setup is like this. 2 main trading screens, charts on the top right hand side, then and other data and or Guardian on the left hand side. So underneath my monitor I have several things. A loudspeaker, obviously, although I do have another loudspeaker over here and a set of headphones, as you've seen before. A calculator. Why would I use a calculator? Just to do some quick calculations, although this has been superseded, which I'll show you in a second. My daughter's old iPhone, and this is because I want to look at the drive and who's coming down the drive, but I don't want to turn around if I'm trading. So I've got a camera that points down the drive, and I can just look at this and it tells me without having to turn around. Spare speaker, I'll come to this in a second. And then I've got my MacBook here, and that allows me to whiz around really quickly. And because I use automation, I can flick backwards and forwards on VPSs really quickly. I can also view a second display on here, a stream from another sport if I so wish. And I've also got an iPad that I can do the same on as well. So I've got extra streams coming in from here on different sports, or I can monitor other versions of BetAngel automation and other things in there as well. But yeah, there's a few things on my desk. It's interesting actually, because the calculator's sort of been superseded now, because if I want to work out what the implied chance of 7.2 is, I can just say, Alexa, what's 1 divided by 7.2?
1 divided by 7.2 rounds to 0.139.
And that's much quicker. So I still have this here.
I pronounce the chicken, but text-to-speech is always improving, and I might not have it quite right.
Absolutely. So you see, sometimes that's why you need a calculator. That's so funny. That's a perfect illustration of why I still have a calculator on my desk. Anyhow, there you go. There are a few things on my desk. So a new addition to my desk. It's a bit reflective because you can see me in the background here. I'll probably change the monitor in due course. This is the monitor that I had on my old desk in the old office to put pictures through. But I've transported it over here. I have been streaming video to my iPad and watching it on there. I can still do that now. I can actually watch two channels. I can watch the main stuff on here and another channel on the iPad. So I've got the ability to watch two sports at once. I can actually watch three if I want to, but that's another story. But as with all things on my desk, I've optimized this so that I can retain my focus on the market while still getting pictures. So if I say, Alexa, turn on Racing UK.
Okay.
You can see that it will switch channels for me without me having to do anything. I can just shout at it. So it's very advantageous for me to be able to look at more than one channel, but also to be able to change channels without lifting my hand off the mouse. If I'm jumping on an opportunity, I want to be able to trade that as effectively as I possibly can. So being able to just shout at it is very beneficial. Alexa, turn on at the races.
Okay.
There you go. So you can see you can do it really, really quickly. But anyhow, I just thought I'd show you that to show you that even the monitor doesn't do the standard thing that you'd expect most monitors to do. Of course, actually, there's a keyboard. It's a bit dirty, actually. I should have cleaned this before doing this video. But the reason that you see these two things here, obviously you need a keyboard, but on Betfair you can do shortcuts and you can assign them to individual keystrokes. But that's what this is as well. So let's explore this as well. Now, this is something that you wouldn't have seen before and that I haven't talked about. But this is a thing called a Stream Deck. And the idea of the Stream Deck is that it's typically used by gamers to stream games that they're playing. And what they do is they can actually press buttons to invoke certain things. So it's like turn to this, do that, action this, switch to a live feed. But of course, with BetAngel, we've got a mass of functions that allow you to modify individual keystrokes and take actions from individual keystrokes. So if I press any one of these buttons on here, you can see what I've done is I've listed a range of servants up here, such as start, stop, start up BetAngel, fire up charts, do other things. You could put pretty much what you've put on here. I've just slapped on a load of icons for you. But basically, if I press any one of these buttons, they can perform an action within BetAngel. So you say to Stream Deck, if I press this button, this is what I want you to do. And it sends the instruction to BetAngel and acts for you. So you can use your keyboard, you can use your mouse to do stuff, but you can also use a device like a Stream Deck to perform actions really quickly.
So if you're using a keyboard or a device like a Stream Deck, if you go to Settings and then you go to Behavior, then what you'll find at the bottom here is an area called Keyboard Shortcuts. And within the keyboard shortcuts, you can see I've predefined some profiles already. You can actually create a new profile, and what this will allow you to do is you can say to it, okay, we're gonna do this one called I don't know, I have no idea. I'll call this a demonstration, and then you can actually say to it, right, we're going to add a new keyboard shortcut into the mix here, and this is what it's going to do. We're going to assign it to that. So what I've done there, which you can't see, is I've just pressed a button on the Stream Deck. I've basically said that's what we're going to do, and then you can decide exactly what you want it to do. So if we want it to be on the ladder, that could perform any one of these particular actions, or if we go onto the one-click screen, it could perform one of these actions, or it could be a trade closure thing. But basically what I did there was I clicked on Capture Key Press, pressed the button on the Stream Deck. So if I press a different button, it will come up with a different a button that would do that. But if I just press that one, you can see it says assigned to Shift, Control and N, or you could even do it on your keyboard, but obviously the Stream Deck does multiple key presses in one go, and then you assign what you want it to do. It's that simple. And of course the advantage of that is I can use my mouse on one hand and my left hand can operate the keyboard or the Stream Deck to initiate, close, open, or manage a trade for me. So when you bring up the Stream Deck control panel, what you're seeing is basically what you see on the Stream Deck. It's a copy of that. So if we click on one of these buttons, you can see here that we could call this whatever we want to. this is a button. You can actually see that you can, next or whatever we want to do, and then you can do the hotkey here. And each of these hotkeys will perform a function within BetAngel, which I've just showed you within the demonstration of BetAngel. You can actually assign keys to Stream Deck, which will then activate within BetAngel, or you can do them within BetAngel, which will then activate in Stream Deck. It's entirely up to you what you want to do, but it's possible to describe each of these. You don't have to have text on it, and then it will appear on the Stream Deck, and you will see the image appear on the Stream Deck, but also this particular keystroke. So very similar to using a keyboard, apart from you can assign icons to it, so it makes it easy to remember exactly what you want each of these functions to perform. But yeah, quite a useful little tool. So there's a quick tour of things that are on my desk and how my general setup is. I realise it was sort of a brief overview, so if there's things that you're particularly interested in, comment and let me know and I'll elaborate a little bit more. But the idea of the way that I've got everything set up is that I want to be able to act on things quickly, decisively, have all the information I need in front of me, and that's what it's geared up to do, which is what I think you should be doing when you're trading the markets. Now I can trade remotely and on a laptop, and I'll just use 2 screens, but when there's a big meeting on or something important that I have to do, then I prefer to be in the office and actively trading behind my desk. Anyhow, there's a quick overview. I hope that was useful for you.